Hi, my name is Richard Crawford, host of the Supply and Demand Show, where we delve into the dynamic world of the global supply chain and we navigate through the complexities, disruptions, and innovations that shape this vital network of interconnected businesses. And from sourcing raw materials to delivering finished products, we'll uncover the challenges that arise at each stage and explore the strategies for optimizing efficiency and sustainability. And each week, we'll highlight a specific supply chain event. And of course, I'm joined in every episode by the man, the myth, the legend, the co-host and resident supply chain expert, Kareem Kafuri. Nice sweater, Kareem.
Thank you very much. I thought you would appreciate the baby blue.
It brings out your eyes.
It's springtime here on the East Coast, and so the weather's changing. It's getting a little sunnier and nicer, so we're starting to bring out those nice colors, right?
Speaking of sunnier, I thought I'd wear this red shirt to match my face.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but
I had some time to kill this week at the side of the pool. The weather was nice. I just forgot to put sunscreen on. How dare I?
You got a lot of things in your mind. I guess, protecting your skin ain't one of them.
It should have been. But it's not. So what's going on, buddy?
Everything's going fine. Like, again, just a good amount of traveling here going on. I just came back from Asia, which was great. I talked about that previously. Saw my team after not being with them for a couple years.
Yeah.
Got some events on the calendar for May and June and so on. And I'll probably get back. I think I'll probably get back to Asia later on in the year as well. I'm going to try to get back to twice a year.
Yeah.
Nothing like being, on the ground where all of the activities are happening, especially the production side.
Yeah.
Spending my time on the US side and with the clients is obviously very important, and working through the supply chain side of things. But at the same time, being where the magic really is taking place, especially with a lot of our productions on the line with the factory partners and everything else, it's such an important part of the supply chain process. And, we give that visibility to clients.
Yeah.
But whenever we have the opportunity or tell clients, can you go, can you be on the line? Can you watch your actual products coming out of the machinery down the conveyor belt? I mean, there's just a magic to that, where it was an idea and then it became a reality. And
Right.
So, I highly encourage anyone who's doing a mass production process to be on production, online, whether it's overseas or domestically. There's just something to that,
What for people who haven't traveled to China before, what does it take? Like, is the visa process really involved? Like, what is the process to get there?
It's actually not that bad. And what they do is they tend to grant a 10-year visa. So you really kind of do it once, and then you're able to go back and forth for about 10 years, which is great. And I'm still, quick funny story. I do have to say this. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to talk about it, but now that you brought it up, it's unbelievable that you did. So I went to the airport to go to this recent trip to China. I get there, I'm in the line. I usually get there super early. And when I'm there, I'm showing the passport to the person at the ticket counter to get on. They're looking through it and they're like, yeah, we see you've gone to China a lot of times, everything else. And they're like, but where's your visa? And I was like, what do you mean? It should be in there. Well, it had been 3.5 years since I had gone last because of the pandemic and everything else. I forgot that my 10-year visa was in my old passport. And what happens is you have to keep your old passport. They stamp it. The visa was in it. And guess where my old passport was? Back at home.
There you go.
Called my wife. She had to get in the car, race over to JFK to give me my second passport. Oh man, it was an absolute disaster.
Fortunately, you don't actually live that far from JFK, so that was fortunate.
Well, point being is that if you get the 10-year visa, and if they end up putting it in a passport of yours, which is expiring, you will have to carry 2 passports for the duration of you having that visa.
So that's good to know.
Yes.
Hopefully that little bit of information will save somebody a little bit of a panic attack like you just had.
My God, that was terrible.
All right, buddy, let's bring in our next guest. So our next guest is Varun Raval, serves as the Senior Manager of Global Sourcing at ChargePoint, a leader in electric vehicle, EV, charging infrastructure. With a wealth of experience in procurement and supply chain management, Varun oversees strategic sourcing initiatives to support ChargePoint's mission of accelerating the adoption of sustainable transportation solutions worldwide. He leverages his expertise to drive efficiency and innovation in the sourcing process, ensuring the highest quality materials and components for ChargePoint's cutting-edge EV charging products. Varun, welcome to the show. I'm very curious and very excited to talk to you because in my other life, I am actually the host of a very popular TV show on Amazon Prime called Leave No Trace, which is about, ecotourism and sustainability and saving the planet. So all the things that we are going to discuss today, I am very, very excited to hear. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for having me on the show.
And Kareem, I believe you a couple of questions for Varun. Not the hot seat questions, just questions in general.
Yes, first and foremost, I'm a big fan. I love the company. I think it's excellent. I think you guys have a great mission and a great opportunity in a very evolving space, growing space. I've been following ChargePoint for a while. I invested in ChargePoint, in various periods of time. And, I guess one question that I have, which is not so much a hot seat question, but just generally speaking, is that how can individuals or even small businesses work hand in hand with ChargePoint? In other words, if I said, hey, you know what, my town really needs some great, charging stations. I have I either have a property or I think of a location that could make a lot of sense near this mall next to us where people could plug in, they could charge, they could do things. How does that work? How does the business kind of development side of the business work to bring more ChargePoint, to different states and cities and communities? How does that sort of happen?
Well, ChargePoint has been a trailblazer in this adoption of EV charging and creating this infrastructure where we can have electric vehicles being the norm and shifting from gas vehicles to EVs. And as of now, ChargePoint has about 120,000 chargers as part of a network across North America and Europe, and that's growing. So I think that's testament to the amount of commitment and drive and passion that the entire team has to build this out and create a future where electric vehicles are the vehicles that we think about and talk about when we talk about a car or a truck. That being said, I think my experience with the team and company is that it's a collaborative approach. This cannot be done by someone pushing a will on others. It's something that we want to work with customers on and create partners with automakers, with utility companies, government agencies, and bring everyone on board in order to create this new future for us. I believe right now, range anxiety is a concern for about 87% of potential EV buyers. And what that means is that we need a lot more charging stations along our journey to be able to refuel those vehicles and to be able to have a happy experience and know that, when I buy an electric vehicle, I'm going to be safe and, I'm going to be able to reach my destination. So ChargePoint is one of those pioneers that's helping this transition happen. So if someone wants an EV charger, right now, every second someone plugs into a ChargePoint charging station and they have a charger at home that's provided by ChargePoint. And if anyone needs one, there are people waiting to provide the service so that we can transform our planet to being a more sustainable one.
I love that term, range anxiety.
Oh yeah, it's
I love that term.
Industry term. It seems like, right?
But you know what? There are people out there who live and die by their fuel gauge as it is. I know some people, when it hits red, they're like, oh yeah, I've got like 100 miles. Like, and then there's other people where it's like, it's below half a tank, I gotta fill it up. So that it's an interesting term. I really like that.
So Varun, let me ask you a question. So I guess I get what you were saying, but my question is this: is if I tomorrow said, hey, you know what? I really want to open up a couple of EV charging stations. Is that a possibility? Does that happen? Did somebody contact ChargePoint and say, how does it work? How does it work for viewers or listeners who are maybe interested in ChargePoint?
Well, if someone wants to make a EV station, contact ChargePoint, and ChargePoint will help partner with, depending on the scale of the investment. If it is a potential buyer that wants it for personal use, we have products that will help facilitate the EV charging needs at the home level. If someone wants to charge the EV vehicle at home, the possibility. If someone has a business, we can help create those stations outside of your business so that you have those EV chargers to provide your employees with a terrific service of being able to charge their vehicles as needed. And the beautiful part is that this is a network that can be opened up. So you can monetize those EV chargers to help people then use those chargers from outside, and that can be a business in itself. So there are many innovative solutions that ChargePoint has been using, both from a hardware and software standpoint, to be able to drive this solution to be the most, lucrative and profitable solution for anyone investing in it, anyone interested in electric vehicles. ChargePoint wants to make it easy, wants to make it, more.
Sorry, I'm not sure if I missed it there. Are you guys doing commercial also? Like
Yes.
large trucks, vans and stuff. I might have missed what you said there. I was listening to a lot of it, but I zoned out for a minute for some reason. But anyway, you're doing commercial.
Yes, we are doing commercial for large scale hubs, for businesses that need commercial charging. There are various solutions that we have across various needs of our customers. So yes, we do have solutions as well.
What do you think? What do you think is driving the shift from gasoline to EV, and why is it good for the planet? Again, as the host of a television show on called Leave No Trace on Amazon Prime, plug. Very, very, very curious what you think is driving that.
I think greenhouse gas emissions are a big threat to this planet, and that shouldn't be a question in anyone's mind. And as human beings that need to breathe oxygen, and people that favor a planet that's sustainable for everyone to co-inhibit, it's very important that we work on solutions that facilitate that change. EVs emit 54% less carbon dioxide overall in terms of their footprint compared to traditional vehicles. And I believe that this shift will significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions over the long term and make the planet better for our children and the future generations. I mean, it's a better future for everyone, I believe.
All right. Are you ready for the hot seat, Varun?
I thought this was the hot seat, but okay.
No, not yet.
This is the warm seat. We're about to get to the hot seat.
We've been easy on you. Varun, easy. All right. So basically, here we're going to ask you 3 questions that we will hopefully you'll answer as close to 5 minutes as possible. If you're under, it's fine. If you're over, it's fine. But the goal for you to beat Katie Date, our reigning champion, at 4 minutes and 58 seconds, which leaves a 2-second window to beat her. Here's your opportunity. So are you ready? All right. All right, man. So the time starts now. Now, the first question, I'm actually quite excited to ask you this, and I think it's quite fun. If you could magically turn any non-electric vehicle into an electric one overnight, what model would it be and why?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Well, there are so many vehicles that I would want to change into electric vehicle overnight.
I guess what's your dream car? Your dream combustion car?
Well, I don't know. I would love to have like a Ferrari or something. I don't think they make a electric vehicle just yet, but I really hope the company is working on creating an electric version of it. That would be a beautiful, beautiful change. I think Porsche has a electric version of it that has come out.
They do, yeah.
Working on that. I'm really glad that the Mustang has now shifted to electric vehicle, and I think that shift is, it's attracting a lot of EV buyers that have been on the fence. They usually, I think it's nice that they have that option now. In terms of SUVs, there are so many options now.
Right.
The Rivian R1 S, which is a beautiful vehicle. I used to work at Rivian, but I think, there are.
Ferrari was a good answer. I think a lot of people would have answered Ferrari. Kareem, you want to ask question 2?
Sure. Why is having a reliable electric charging network so important for the world?
In order to make a transition, we need to have a strong foundation that can support that transition. Like, we cannot have planes if we don't have airports, and we cannot have travel if using air transport and to grow this economy, unless we have the infrastructure, the jobs supporting it, and all the things that go into the supply chain, which is also sustainable, that creates the ROI for the shareholders to also be able to reap benefits from it. So from the aspect of being able to create value for the shareholders that want to invest into this, that want to generate value, but also making sure that the value that's generated creates a positive outcome for the planet, is extremely important. So as we transition into electric vehicles being the norm, just like gas stations, we need to have these charging stations which help facilitate this transition. And as battery capacities grow larger and we can hold more power, so that the range anxiety goes away and we can literally charge our vehicle and for some time, go into, grab a drink or grab something to eat, and then you can get back into your car and get back on the road. So that's the future which we are aiming towards, and it's extremely important that we grow out this network so that every person that wants to support this vision for a better planet, for a better future, a greener planet, is able to partake in it. And I think it's all our responsibility to help make this happen in whatever way possible, whether it's us buying one for ourselves, like a EV or a EV station, or just being interested in it, educating people about it, looking into articles as to why EVs are better for the planet, why is it better to make decisions that support the planet to become more sustainable for the future generations.
All right, Varun, I'm going to help you out. You've got about 40 seconds left, actually 30 seconds left to answer this top line last question. What's your long-term vision for the EV industry? Couple of sentences will get you close to time.
Long-term vision is that EVs will be the norm, not an option. My long-term vision is that innovation will keep up with the vision for the future, and people will know what the benefits of this innovative solution, the benefit of EVs is. People are already seeing it. It's visible. It's good for the planet. It's good for you. And I'm very excited about it. By 2040, I believe there's going to be 54 million cars in sales that are EVs. So that's a very optimistic future, and I'm very optimistic about it. Very excited.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. You went over slightly, but not that much. You went over by about 14 or 15 seconds. But you could. There was a sentence there. I thought you were going to wrap it up. I was like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And
I'm so excited about this topic. I try to
but
No, it's
very fascinating answers, and it's an incredible. I'm excited about what's going on in the EV world personally. You did mention earlier, I know probably not here to talk about past employers you had, but one of my favorite television shows is Long Way Up. It's with I'm sure you know it, with Ewan McGregor and his buddy were on the motorcycles. Where they started in the very tip of Argentina, I think, and went all the way up to the top of North America, up in Alaska, I believe, or California. And the support vehicles were Rivians.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. And it was, I remember seeing them and be like, oh my God, I want one of those. And I've seen several on the road since. But yeah, man, some of this stuff that you guys have going on is really fascinating.
I have a quick question for you, Varun, and this is just a general idea. Do you ever think that there's going to come a time where essentially the cars will have solar panels, or the cars will basically have, let's say, turbines, like sort of like wind energy, that then essentially funnel via capacitor to essentially the battery and charges the battery in a way through, I guess, these other mechanisms, so that you have a continual loop of charging, that as car is in movement and is getting, power sources through either energy, solar or wind or whatever it may be, that it then is enough to then be able to then generate enough energy that won't necessarily replace charging, but will support it or give additional components to. I mean, what's your thoughts around that? Does ChargePoint even think about such things, or not really?
I think since ChargePoint is focused on building an infrastructure that supports electric vehicles, it's not focused on having innovations on the car or vehicle level itself.
Right.
However, ChargePoint is working on getting clean energy sources to be able to power the vehicle. So essentially, the electricity that runs into the ChargePoint stations coming from clean solutions, and that is where we with governments and agencies to make sure that can happen. For cars specifically, it's already happening. There are so many concept vehicles that have these solar panels, and within the design of the vehicle itself, the way aerodynamics work, there are concept vehicles that as you drive, the air itself goes in and
Intake.
It's not in mass production yet, a lot of these solutions, because they're expensive. But I'm very optimistic about how it pans out and what our future looks like, say, in 2040 and 2050.
Very cool. Interesting.
Very cool.
Interesting. Well, Varun, thank you so much. It's been quite insightful speaking with you. And again, as somebody who has another job, which we're very involved in this world. Great for you to come on and give us a little insight. How do people get a hold of you, Varun?
Email, LinkedIn. I'm happy to talk to anyone that's interested in this topic, and I'm happy to work with anyone that's passionate about making this planet a better place for everyone.
Awesome. And Kareem, how about you? How are people going to get a hold of you?
Same like Varun. LinkedIn is always good. Kareem Kafuri is my name there at LinkedIn, or through my company, which is theatlasnetwork.com, where we help small to mid-sized businesses build supply chains and turn ideas into reality. That's our specialty here with regards to that side of things. So yeah, those are good places to get a hold of me.
Oh, cool. And of course, remember to follow us on the Supply and Demand Show on both our YouTube and LinkedIn pages. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. Have a safe week, and we hope you'll join us again for our next episode. See you later. Thank you.